Ethan here, Chunked to Chiseled, and today we're going to talk about injury rehabilitation. So, before we go any further, what I want you to do is subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell, and just comment below in any injuries you have or any questions about injuries, and I'll try my best to help you out. And anyway, let's get into it. I am injury prone. I'm actually injured now. This is what made me think about doing this video. I have been suffering with a dodgy shoulder for about 11 years, and it was that bad I had the nickname Mr. Glass. I've had to do a lot of physiotherapy, sports therapy, rehabilitation, a lot of stuff over the years, so I know quite a lot about injuries. Not just shoulder, I've torn this pec attachment twice, that one once, damaged both rotator cuffs, I've torn my hamstring to glute attachment, I've also prolapsed a disc in my spine, and a lot of other injuries. They're just the main ones that have stood out over the years. So, how to deal with an injury? First things first, train smart, don't be stupid. Whenever you start to get signs of, say, an old injury or new injury starting to niggle, which is where I am at now, it's not gone fully yet, back off your training. Maybe have a couple of days rest, or just go lighter and have a deload week. It might help. So deload, just decrease the weights, don't take it quite to failure. Actually, just don't go to failure actually if you're injured. So I can train my legs hard, but I'm not going to be training my upper body hard for the next week. So that's one thing. Prehab. Stretching, that's more prehab. Your flexibility, the more flexible you are, you will help prevent injuries. Your muscles, your tendons, they're going to be a bit safer within the gym environment. Supplements to aid, you've got like your glucosamine, your cod liver oils, things like that, they help your joints, so that's also going to help obviously. Stay hydrated, that'll improve elasticity within the muscle. And great, so that's your pre-injury stuff. If you are now injured, if you've got, like me, I'm just going to go for my dodgy shoulder, what I found the best thing to do the first few days is ice. Ice that shoulder up because it'll decrease the inflammation. Inflammation stops the muscle from performing properly, moving, and it can actually, if anything, make things worse, because I find when this swells, I get a pronated shoulder, it pulls forward, and then so that's my shoulder joint, it traps muscles in between, and then it causes more inflammation. It's a worse and worse and worse and worse thing, so it just makes the injury worse. So I have to get that inflammation down. You can do that as well through medication as well, but that's up to you. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, I take anti-inflammatories, I ice the hell out of that shoulder, do that for a few days. I back off my training, so I train my lower body, give my upper body a few days rest. And then when I go back into the gym, because it's not a really bad injury, I'm just going to go lighter for a bit. I'm going to deload it. But if you are injured, if you've fully wrecked that, whatever it is, you've pulled a muscle, or like me, you've torn things, the exercises that actually hurt it, you stop doing. Sorry, you might be able to hear the dog's having a drink, so she's making noise. So yeah, if you've actually hurt the muscle now and it's injured, you've torn it, something like that, you don't do exercises that actually hurt. You train around them, you do exercises that don't hurt. But you might find that if you do them at really, really, really light weights, it doesn't hurt at all. So for example, when this was torn, I was recovering from a tear, I would go really light. I'd still use, for example, as mentioned, 40k dumbbells at one point. I went straight down to 6k, 6 kilo dumbbells. I'd go through the motions on my pressing and use dumbbells as well, not machines, because I want my stabilisers working. And what that done is it would get blood to the area, it would get my mind and my muscles reconnecting, and it would train up the tendons, it would just train up everything in that area. But then it's the next day that would make me judge whether that was a wise decision or not. So if the next day that hurts, then yeah, I might have to give it a bit longer. But if it doesn't hurt, the next time I train, because what as well I advise is increase the volume, the amount of times a week you train that area, so you might do this twice a week. So I'll do it Monday, Thursday, so the next time I'll do 8 kilos, go through it, great, that's fine, and I'll keep increasing it every session. I'll do 3 sets of 15, and then eventually you might do, for example, 16 kilos, next day it hurts. So what I would then do is I would drop the weight, so 14 kilos now, do that again for a session, then the next time try 16 again. Do that and then you might find it doesn't hurt this time, but if it does, go down again and stay there for about a week or so, and then try increasing again. Do it gradually, do it smarter. Because if you just go, right, I'm just going to do really light weights for a period of a month, 6 kilos, and you dive back in, 40k, chances are your tendons, your muscles are not going to be ready and you're going to snap the muscle completely. Also, your proprioception, your mind-muscle connection is not going to be there, so your technique's going to be crap. You need to gradually re-increase the weight, and then your recovery will be smarter, it'll be safer, and yeah, if anything, you'll keep a lot more of your gains than if you just had a break, because you're gradually challenging the muscle again. So that's on the exercises that hurt or directly work that muscle. But I find that when all my pressing movements are in agony, my pulling movements, they're absolutely fine, so I can still go quite heavy on that. Leg movements obviously go heavy, and just try and focus on the other muscles a bit more and just rehab that specific area. Obviously, if it's a muscle injury, protein is actually what builds muscle, so high amounts of protein is going to help you heal that muscle, so I'd really advise increasing your protein. Sleep is where the body recovers, so make sure you're getting good quality sleep. As I said earlier about putting an ice pack on an injured area for the first few days, after that I would try and rotate between hot and cold, so hot-cold therapy. So ice pack for 5 minutes, heat pack for 5 minutes, ice pack, heat pack. Do that every day. Just obviously you could do 2 swaps, you could do whatever, how many swaps you like. That will definitely increase your recovery rate. Also, an external source that can really help with your recovery is go see a sports therapist. They are trained to find out what's wrong with you, what exactly has caused it. You know, they know what to look for. They can tell you a bit more about this injury. They might be able to say, you've torn that, you're screwed, do this. Listen to what they say. But what I find as well, when I've got inflammation here when it's injured, I get knots all over my body. So they can keep so I get knots in my back, right down my spine, and they can get them out to keep my body working properly to allow this to recover properly. So sports therapists, they can get the tightness, the knots, they can get the blood flow increased by massage in the area. So I really recommend going seeing a sports therapist. You can see a physio, you can see an osteopath. They're great, but I think a sports therapist is more hands-on and definitely recommended. So there's the tips. Hope it helped. I could go into a lot more detail on this, but that's just a basic look at it. That's a basic look at rehabbing injuries. You could do so much. You can go into foam rolling, trigger point, and then yeah, great. So hope it helped. If you like the video, obviously remember, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next week.